Hey everybody, welcome to another video. And today we'll be doing predicting NFL teams starting with the AFC West. Beginning with the AFC West, starting with the Denver Broncos. And let's get into it. So, week 1, Las Vegas Raiders at home. Believe it or not, I think the Broncos take this one. The Raiders are gonna have a bad year. Their quarterback's Jimmy G, bit of a mediocre quarterback. Hot take maybe? Probably not. Josh Jacobs, elite running back. I mean, the Raiders will probably be an in-the-middle team, but I see the Broncos with Sean Payton and Russell Wilson debut. I think they get the win here. The Commanders, I think the Commanders get the win. The Broncos, get the win here. Commanders, even though they have new ownership, I don't believe that they will beat their team. They have no offense besides Terry McLaurin, and their defense is the only thing that's keeping them from being 0-17. So they get the win there. Week 3 at Miami. I think the Broncos take the loss here because Miami's gonna be a better team this year. I think Tua's gonna improve. They're starting to learn the offense. Tyreek Hill being Tyreek Hill is going to burn their defenders. Patrick Surtain's not going to be able to guard anyone. And it's hard to play in Miami. So that's a loss for me. Chicago Bears. Week 4 at Chicago. Believe it or not, I think they take the loss here. I think Chicago's going to be a better team this year than they were last year. Justin Fields is going to use his legs more, or about the same as he has been. And I think that the Broncos D isn't going to be able to stop Justin Fields and his merit and his running style. So they get the win. They get the loss there. New York Jets where is it? It's at Denver. So, week 5, New York Jets at home. I think they get a loss here. 2 back-to-back losses. But the Jets, they have Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson. They're gonna be in, by then, Aaron will know, it's starting to click for them. They'll know what to do by then. And I think the Jets with Aaron is gonna outshine Russell Wilson. So they're gonna take the loss there. Kansas City Chiefs. How many is that? 4 straight losses. Yeah. Loss. Just Kansas City, reigning Super Bowl champions. The reigning Super Bowl champions will defeat the Denver Broncos. There's not much more to say. Patrick Mahomes is like a magician. Travis Kelce is Travis Kelce. And their defense with Chris Jones is going to be hard for Russell Wilson. So, lost there. Green Bay Packers. Ooh, do I think this will be a good game? Probably not, because they're 2 stinky teams this year. But I see the Broncos getting a win here, bouncing back after the 4 straight losses. Jordan Love gonna have a hard time this year. First year without Aaron Rodgers. Matt LaFleur, I think it'll be a good game, but I think the Broncos will just barely beat the Green Bay Packers here. Week 8, I don't know how to say this. Loss. I just don't see the Broncos beating the Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champions, losing to the Denver Broncos. Come on. That's a loss. Week 9 bye. Week 10, that's a loss. Buffalo Bills, one of the better teams in the AFC. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Their defense will not know how to handle Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, like I just said. They have good corners. Micah Hyde, Tre'Davious White. Gonna be a little hard for Russell Wilson to throw on them. So I think that's gonna be a loss there. And Minnesota Vikings, that's a win. As we saw last year, the Minnesota Vikings were frauds. Hot take? Maybe. But they got upset in the first round to the Giants, which I'm not surprised. But I think the Broncos start to know what they're doing. May not be like the best most watchable game, but I think they're gonna get the win here. Cleveland Browns. I think they beat the Cleveland Browns because Cleveland's gonna have an off year. Deshaun Watson. Well, let's just say don't go searching up Deshaun Watson on the internet. And Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb. I think it's gonna be another close one, but I think the Broncos are gonna edge out the Browns. Texans next week 13. Texans at home versus the Broncos. Broncos get the win here. Texans with, who do they have? Bryce, whoever they have. I forget who they picked. I don't know. Memory of mine. But I think they get the win here. Texans, young team for the most part. And they're gonna be bad, the Texans this year, but the Broncos will be the better of the bad teams. In my opinion. Week 14 at the Chargers. That's going to be a loss for me. The Chargers are going to be the second in the division. That's all. I don't want to spoil. I know I kind of spoiled it, but they have Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. All 4 guys are pretty good, and their defense is Patrick Surtain and pretty much no one else that I can think of at this moment. But I think the Chargers, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are gonna go crazy that game maybe, but that's a loss. Detroit Lions. Detroit's gonna have a better season this year, and I just don't see Broncos beating Dan Campbell. And the Lions, I know it's a bit of a surprise, but the Lions are a sleeper team this year. I wouldn't underestimate them. That's all. But loss for the Broncos. Patriots. That's a win. Mac Jones, Bill Belichick. Probably not the best chemistry, but I think the Broncos are going to be able to rattle Mac into throwing a few picks. So that'll be a win for the Patriots or the Broncos. What am I saying? Chargers versus Broncos. Here, I think the Broncos. I think they're gonna split, and this is the game they win. The Chargers. The Broncos. What am I saying, people? Blah, 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 blah. The Broncos win that game because I know the records probably are very different, but records don't matter in divisional games. So I say the Broncos win that game because the Chargers won on their home turf, and the Broncos will probably win on their home turf. The Las Vegas Raiders, Week 18. Close out the season. I think they get a win here. The Raiders are. I don't see Jimmy G beating these Denver Broncos. And even though they have Davante Adams, Jimmy G's at quarterback, so you might not. And Jimmy G's on a different team, so you'll see. You'll have to see how they are this year. So yeah, I say don't get me wrong here, but I say the Denver Broncos go 9-8. Denver Broncos go 9-8. Guys, I know I said I'd be doing the AFC West this video, but I'm gonna schedule league schedule. Nope, not gonna get copyrighted. No copyright today. Next team, Raiders. Preseason. Alright, week 1 at Denver. Like I said before, I think the Broncos will win that game. Jimmy G, first game is in a Raider uniform. It's gonna be some time for him to adjust, but I think the Broncos will win that game following their first game of the year. 0-1, being 0-1. Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Tre'Davious Wright, Micah Howard, Von Miller, all those guys. I think Tre'Davious White and Micah Hyde and Von Miller will be able to shut down Jimmy Garoppolo and the 49ers offense. There will be no offensive production that week, falling to be 0-2. Week 3 versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. That'll be a win. Steelers, Kenny Pickett, Najee Harris, and their wide receivers. I'm sorry, and Pat Freiermuth. But I think the Raiders, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, If I don't know if that Hunter's still on the team, but I think they'll get the win over there. Chargers versus Raiders. That's gonna be a loss, in my opinion. Chargers, the only team I see the Chargers losing to in the division is. I think they split, though. I think they split the Raiders. And where is this played? It's played in SoFi Stadium. I think that's a loss there. A loss. Because, again, Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, all those offensive guys. And the Raiders have, like, I'm sorry, but, like, who are their cornerbacks? Yeah, whoever those cornerbacks are, not be able to guard Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. I'm sorry, but that's a scary duo. So that's going to be a loss. Falling to 1-3. Green Bay Packers, another loss. Jordan Love, Christian Watson, AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones. Those guys are gonna be how the Green Bay Packers win that game. Because Jordan Love will probably play sloppy, but he'll still get the victory there. And in Allegiant Stadium. I guess not. So 1-4. Week 6. Patriots. That's a win. Mac Jones gonna have a rough time this season. I don't think he's gonna be good. That's what I think. But that'll be a win there. So not really too. Cause I don't think they don't really have some key big players on their team. But you don't need big players to win. Not stars on their team. That's a good one. But I think the Raiders are going to win that game, making them 2-4. Week 7 versus the Bears. That's a win. That is a win versus the Bears. I don't know. Something about this game tells me that I think the Raiders will contain Justin Fields unlike the Broncos could. So I think that's a win. So they're going to get back-to-back wins, making them 3-4. Detroit Lions. That'll be a loss. Yes, loss. Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell. No DeAndre Swift, but Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Jared Goff will know what they're doing against the Raiders. They will put up they know. The only difference here, why I think the Lions will win and not the Bears will beat, and why the Lions will beat the Raiders but not the Bears, because coaching. Dan Campbell knows how to coach, unlike Matt Nagy, but that's just me. New York Giants, that's a loss. The New York Giants will have improved. They have Darren Waller now. Sorry, not sorry, Raiders. Hashtag I'm a Giants fan. The Giants will have won. Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley, Darren Waller. That alone should just tell you how the Giants will beat the Raiders. So that's a loss right there. Week 10. I think that's another loss. Raiders will lose to both New York teams, making them 3-7. Because Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Sauce Gardner, I think all of those players. Sauce will clamp Devontae, but Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, I think it'll be an explosive game for the Jets, so that's a loss. Dolphins, another loss for the Raiders. 3-8, not looking good. Dolphins are the better team at Hard Rock Stadium. Yeah, that's a loss. It's hard to play in Miami, and 2, the Dolphins are the better team with Tyreek and Tua, so that's a loss. Kansas City Chiefs, reigning Super Bowl champions, always defeats the Raiders, no question about it. Another loss for the Raiders, 3-9. Minnesota Vikings, there's a win. Minnesota Vikings are gonna stink this year. All of their wins last year were by 1 score, and when they lost, they got blown out. That alone should tell you how bad they are. That'll be a win for the Raiders, so at least they get another win. Los Angeles Chargers. That'll be a win in Allegiant Stadium, making them 5-9. I think it'll be different from the first game. They'll know what to do, unlike the first game. That'll be a win. At Chiefs, that's a loss. Again, reigning Super Bowl champions cannot be defeated. Colts, that's a win. Colts are gonna stink this year. And there's nothing more to explain about that. The Colts, besides Jonathan Taylor, everyone else on the team's just mediocre at best. And last game playing the Denver Broncos, lost. Sean Payton and Russell Wilson don't know how to take care of the Raiders. So, that's a loss. They'll be finishing at the bottom of the the division, finishing 6-11. Or they'll not at the bottom. Actually, I don't know yet. 6-11. They'll, at least the Broncos won't be the last ones. Now let's do the Los Angeles Chargers. Next team, the Los Angeles Chargers. Oh, week 1. Chargers Dolphins. That'll be a good game. That will be a good game. Where is it? It is at SoFi Stadium. Let's a win. Tua, throw a few picks. Justin Herbert, know what he'll do. But that'll be a win for the Dolphins. No doubt about that. Titans, week 2, win. Titans, aside for Derrick Henry and DeAndre Hopkins, they have Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. Gonna be a rough time for them, unlike them having Justin Herbert and literally like the best social media team ever. Did you see their schedule release? Amazing. But that's besides the point. Week 3, Vikings win. Vikings, again, fraudulent team. That's gonna be a win for them. Raiders, gonna stink this year. That'll be another win. 4-0 going into the bye week. Cowboys, that'll be a loss. Cowboys are the Cowboys. Monday Night Football, Cowboys of Dak, Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb. They'll be the better team. So that'll be their first loss of the year. And coming on to week 7 against the Chiefs, that'll be a loss. Chiefs, reigning Super Bowl champions. Couldn't beat the Chiefs last year. I don't think they'll beat them this year. Or no, they'll split. Probably. That's another loss though. Bears, that's a win. Though I think the Bears are going to be a better team this year. I think the Chargers are going to be an even better team. Better than the Bears this year. Even better than they were last year. So, anyway, sorry guys. I was talking to because I was like falling asleep. Where was I? Oh yeah. That's a win for the Chargers, becoming 5-2, about to become 6-2. I think they beat the Jets, even though the Jets have Aaron Rodgers. There's nothing more to say. I think the Chargers beat the Jets. And they beat the Lions, because even though the Lions are going to be good, the Chargers are just going to be more improved. It'll be a good game, but all in all, I think the Chargers, 7-2 Chargers. I think they become 8-2 here. Green Bay Packers. It'll be a good one. Jordan Love versus Justin Herbert. They're the kind of young quarterbacks, but I think Justin Herbert will have the edge here. Because what cornerbacks do the Packers have? 8-2 after the. Here's a loss. Lamar Jackson. 2 words. Lamar Jackson. New England Patriots, that's a win. Patriots are gonna have a rough time this season with Mac Jones and Bill Belichick. Gonna be interesting to see how that works out. Mac Jones and Bill Belichick. Week 14, Broncos win. Broncos gonna be in the middle of the road, but the Chargers will know what to do because they face them a lot and they're used to them. So that's a win. 10-3. Raiders, that's a loss. Unlike the first game, the Raiders will know what to do now, making them 10-4. This week 16, this is look out for. 2 the best teams in the AFC go at it, besides the Chiefs and the Bengals. This is from the Chiefs and the Bills and Bengals and Bills. The Bills and the Chiefs. This is one of the best games, but I'd look out for this game, because the seeding will matter in this game. But I think the Bills will win there. So I'm making them 10-5. They beat the Broncos here 11-5. I'm not really gonna question that. And the Chiefs will have nothing to play for, so 12-5. So as of right now, first Chargers, second Broncos, third Broncos be 9-8, Chargers be 12-5, and the Raiders are gonna be 6-11, I think I said. And finally, we have last team, the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't be mad at me if I speed through this. New Orleans Saints win. New Orleans are gonna suck this year. Gonna be pretty mid-team. Cardinals win. Cardinals, same thing. Pretty mediocre team. Gonna suck this year as well. Browns win. Browns kinda suck. Oh, this is the preseason. My bad. Week 1, Lions win. Gotta show them how good you are. And the Lions, as good as they're gonna be, I think they're gonna have a little bit of work to do at the beginning, so that'll be a win for the Chiefs. But a loss in Week 2 to Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. Revenge after the divisional game last year. So, 1-1. Bears win. Bears are the Bears, but I know how I'm giving them their praises, but it'll be a win. Jets win. The Jets with the Jets, even though they have Aaron Rodgers, still gonna find a way to lose. 3-1. Vikings, frauds. Don't deserve to be good this year. That's gonna be a win for the Chiefs. Broncos stink. We'll still be on that streak with the Chiefs. Win for the Chiefs. Chargers win. They'll split that series because Chargers are like not as good as the Chiefs. It's gonna be a good game, but not gonna be the Chargers game. Broncos gonna get swept by the Chiefs because they're the Broncos. I think the Dolphins win here though. I think the Dolphins win in Week 9. Nope. Even though it's in Germany, making them 7-2. Because they're the Dolphins, and the Dolphins will find a way to win since it's not an Arrowhead. Eagles, that's a loss. Revenge from the Super Bowl game will really be in their heads. That'll be a loss. Raiders, that's a win. The Raiders are the Raiders. Gonna be pretty bad this year. And what else is new? Packers, that's a win. Packers with Jordan Love gonna have a few kinks to work out. And so that'll make them 9-3. I think they lose to Bills though, because of Josh Allen and Tyreek Hill and all the Tyreek. Stephon Diggs. Patriots, that's a win. Patriots again. Mac Jones. Bill Belichick. Raiders, that's another win. 11-4. Bengals, that's a loss, making them 11-5. The Bengals are going to be really good this year. Maybe win the Super Bowl, just maybe. Chargers, that's a win, and they'll have the tiebreaker over the Chargers, which will be good. So here, and first we have the Kansas City Chiefs being 12-5. Second place, we have the Los Angeles Chargers being 12-5, but the Chiefs had the tiebreaker over the Chargers, so that will watch me that way. In third place, we have the Denver Broncos, going to be 9-8, and in fourth place, we have the Raiders, who are going to be 6-11. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video.